a request that I got for a foundation routine. I've already washed my face, moisturized my face, and I also, after moisturizing, only because it's fall and the winter season, my skin's been feeling really dry lately. So I've also, after moisturizing, I've been using the Arden Intervene Time Fighting Radiance Serum. So it's not as thick and creamy as the face cream that I use, but it's a serum, so it's just as good. So I'll just use this to bring some more radiance into my skin. And then my HG product, which I use only a little bit on my T-zone area, and it's only to control the oils, is the Milk of Magnesia, which I have in a little bottle. I just tap a little bit on my fingers and just rub it on. And then my skin is concealed already, the blemishes and dark spots on my face, and I use this Hard Candy Glamoflauge Heavy Duty Concealer, and this is actually in the color 10. And this is a really great concealer, and it's only $6 in Walmart. I believe Walmart is the only location that I could find that sells the hard candy. So again, the Hard Candy Glamoflauge is a heavy duty concealer, so it really conceals and doesn't let anything, it doesn't slip, glide, it stays put. So this is great. And so what I did to set the concealer, I used powder, which is my Ben 9 Neutral Colorless face powder. So it's another word for translucent with no color. I use this and I just set the concealer a bit, just so it could stay, I guess it stays long lasting. Then I'll apply the foundation on top. Which foundation I'm using today is my EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation. And if you want a review on this, just let me know and I'll do one. And this is in the F200. This is similar to the NC30 for MAC. If you are MAC NC30, you will be the EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation in F200. So this is a punch, and this is actually an airless pump, so it just pushes the product upwards as you pump, so that's really good. So I'm gonna put it in the back of my hand. My hands are sanitized and clean. 1 second. I apologize, my phone keeps going off, so it keeps kind of taking me off track. So back to what I was saying. Foundation, hands are clean. What I'm gonna use is just the back of my hand, only because the warmth of my skin warms up the product a bit, so it makes it glide a little more. But it's up to you. If you don't want to use the back of your hand, you could use just an empty plate or palette, whatever you prefer. So I'm gonna pump, and I just used a pump and a half. Now, like I said, my skin is dry, so what I'm going to use to bring some radiance back into my skin is the Revlon Photo Ready Skin Light Face Illuminator, and this is actually in the color Barelight. I don't believe I have mentioned that before. And it's just a squeeze tube, so I'm going to squeeze a dab like that, little bit, so it's right there, a little bit. And I'm gonna mix that in on my hand, and I'm gonna pat this all over my face. And now with a flat top kabuki brush, this is just any kabuki brush. This is actually a dupe for the Sigma F80, and I always have any brushes that I use, the link down below, so you can check out the website. But it's just a basic flat top kabuki, no brand or anything. It's just very dense, and it's very soft, extremely soft. So what I'm gonna use my, you can use whatever you want. I'm gonna use my MAC mineralized water, and I'm gonna spritz one simple spray real fast on the bristles, only to soften and moisten it up, and it won't absorb so much product, so it'll be easier to glide onto your skin. So again, spritz. And as you can see, I don't know how to make this up, but it's moist. And I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pat the product on my skin. I'm not gonna buff it, only because I've concealed and I don't want my concealer to move anywhere. So just pat, and then we'll buff the outer edges. like that, and all I do is just pat. I don't put any product underneath my eye, only because I'm going to conceal. I don't want to use product underneath my eye since I'm going to conceal it anyway. And make sure you go in between your brows, and everything else I just pat on. I don't really focus that much on my forehead because I don't have that many scars or dark anything around my forehead. Just like one spot, and it's only because I actually had a breakout, but I just pat. And then right here on the outer edges, I'll just lightly buff it out down to my neck. Real simple. I hope the lighting is good. I'm still kind of trying to figure it out. But that's it. Simple and easy. And I'm going to do my under eye. I noticed in the camera they look darker than what they really are. They're really not that dark, but what I'm going to use today is going to be my Revlon EX1 concealer in the color Neutralizer. I doubt you're going to be able to see it, but in the color Neutralizer, which is a yellow tone. And I'm going to get a small pea size. Not too much. Because I'm also going to do this Dream Lumi Touch Highlighting Concealer. And to me this reminds me a lot of the apricot. It just says Radiant, I'm not even gonna try pronouncing it. It just says Radiant. I'm assuming that's the color, but it's more like a salmon kind of color. Conceal the darkness underneath my eyes. And it doesn't go like that. Down below this by the line 6 plus, and then just more of an angled brush, very dense and soft, and I'm using this just to pat out the product on my eye. Just pat. You don't want to rub the product, you just want to pack it on. And by your nose as well. Now what I'm going to do, just so it won't be so obvious, that harsh line of where you highlighted, I'm going to go back with my foundation brush, no product, whatever's on is on there, and I'm just going to go right here by my cheek. So I'm not going up here, I'm going down here, and all I'm doing is just kind of blend it out so it won't look so harsh. And I'm just gonna go in with my other favorite brush, which is part of that collection of that brush. It's again by 6 plus. And it's angled, but instead of round, this one's actually flat, so it'll pack on the product and it's easier. So I'll show you the difference. So the one with the yellow is round and this one is flat. And I'm just gonna go in with my Midnight Cameo powder, which is white but more with a pink undertone, or my Midnight Banana powder, which is a yellow undertone. And what I do to make things easier for myself, I always use these little refillable jars, and I'll just put the powders in and just makes it less messy and more controllable. So I'm gonna go in with the Cameo, pack it on the brush, and I'm gonna pat it on. And as I set my under eye, I let my foundation settle in, and you know, this foundation does not oxidize, so that's always a plus, and it dries matte, so I love that already. That's why I use the Revlon for more luminance and radiance, because it's not really going to give you a dewy finish. And now to set the foundation, I'm going to use my Revlon Color Stay. I already hit pan on it, and this is in the color, doesn't say, oh, medium. And of course, clumsy me, I dropped it, so I'm just grabbing this, and I'm going to grab my e.l.f. powder brush. I think it was only, I actually bought it on sale for $1.50, so that's awesome. And I'm just gonna go like this. Only because I actually, I clean my brushes once a week thoroughly, only because it just prevents bacteria from collecting. And my skin is real sensitive and I tend to break out, so I just rather deep clean them once a week and spot clean them every day. So I'm gonna go into the powder. And I'm gonna if the stippling brush method doesn't work for you and you feel like it's a little blotchy, you can always go in with a beauty blender, and it's just the original beauty blender, and it comes this small. As you can see, I do use it. When you wet it, it does expand, and you can use this as well to put your foundation on. But if you do prefer using the foundation stippling brush, which is this, and you're putting it on and you just wanted to clean it up a little, or you can use this to absorb any excess oils that you see that your foundation is causing with your skin, or whatever the case may be. You can stipple with this, right? Make sure that wherever you conceal, you do not buff. You just pat it on, and where you buff is mainly at the outer edges to your chin, down your neck. But here, because you want to contain the coverage, just pat it on lightly, let the bristles do the work, and then buff it out everywhere else around the edges of your face. And to like just absorb any excess foundation you feel is not look too cakey. Moisture in your beauty blender, any kind of beauty blender you have, any sponge, and with it semi-damp, meaning it's not gonna be soaked, you're gonna feel the moist because you're gonna squeeze all the water in. It's just gonna stay kind of damp, and you're gonna go in and just stipple around the areas that you feel are looking kind of blotchy, and this will absorb any oils or excess foundation that you have on your skin. So it's another great tip just to clean up if you don't feel too confident that this did it for you. Just go back in with this just a little to just touch up, and it looks really great. But again, my preference doing this only because I like full coverage foundation lately, and this is what makes it happen. The beauty blender is mainly more for like light coverage, light to medium, but this is definitely full coverage. You're just packing it on. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finish the rest of my face, and I'll be right back. Alright love, so this is the final look. And again, I hope this was helpful. It was real simple. Now what you just do, just set your foundation with any spray. I'm gonna use my NYX Dewy. And that's just gonna set the powders and everything you put on your face. And that's it. So simple, easy, not too hard, not too serious or, you know, over the top. Simple, basic stuff. Just make sure that you have a good concealer to conceal anything, any dark spots, circles, anything you want to conceal. And just a really decent foundation. This was just I think $18 on the website, but if you want a review and further information, just let me know down below and I'll do one. But it's really great. This is, I think I've had this for 2 or 3 months, and it's held up pretty well. So again, I hope this was helpful, and I'll just put all the information down below. Bye loves.